Hi everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Summer Pop-Ups. I'm Sherry Lewin, and I'm the founder and president of Thrive Claremont, and we're happy to have you with us here today. Thrive Claremont is a 501c3 charitable nonprofit. Our mission is empowering teens to succeed, and we do that by providing opportunities for skill building, socialization, and leadership training. One of the opportunities is our Summer PopUps Series. This is our fourth year holding the series and our first year doing so virtually. So we hope you have a great time and we're glad you're with us. Of the News Leader, which is the weekly newspaper that's distributed here in Lake County. And she also works with us on our Thrive newsletter, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later, and teens will have the opportunity to write for us in the future. So Donna.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Hey everybody, you can see me, but most of you I can't see you, right?
Right.
So it is my honor to introduce you to Kristine Walsworth tonight as your speaker. And just a little bit about Kristine. She has been an English teacher in South Lake County for over 25 years, where she has spent the last 6 years at Mount Bird Academy as a teacher, department chair, and an academic team coach. Her passion for writing and teaching took her to the University of Miami University, right, in Ohio, for a bachelor's degree in English literature. And then several years later, she received her master's degree in English literature from the University of Central Florida. Through the years, she's applied her passions for writing to teaching, speech writing, grant writing, and her self-published children's books. Her current project is a travel blog called The Typical Tourist, which she marries her love for local and global travel with storytelling because she believes everyone has a story to tell. So please join me in welcoming Kristine Walsworth.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm happy to see some of my repeat performers from 5 p.m. here with us this evening, and others as well, as we spend some time talking about writing our college admissions essays. And we have a wide variety of participants tonight, and I think that is really great because you're never too early to be thinking about what you want to do and what your path might be to college and what's a great way to get there. So that is what we are taking a look at tonight. So I'm going to share my screen. Oop. Alicia, did you co-host me? Please, peas and carrots. When I can, I'm going to share my screen with you, and we will take a look at some of our tasks and what it really means to write a college admissions essay. In addition, I'm hoping that you received and opened your email from Alicia that has a handout on it. Everything in the handout I'm hoping that we're going to be able to talk about tonight in this workshop. There's probably even more on the handout than on the workshop, which is by design, so that when you come away from it and you come back to this maybe in August or September, you are able to, pull those things back up and you have it right in front of you. It's early summer and after a very crazy quarter four, so I'm hoping that you're going to have all those goodies in front of you. All right, thank you so much, ladies. We are going to share this, and I will start here. So yes, so obviously, as I'm looking at my list, I have some rising juniors, I have some rising seniors, but then I also have some rising freshmen and some rising 8th graders. So I know, guys, that this seems really far away to you, but a wise person once told me, or I read it somewhere in psychology magazines, that really your character and the person that you are going to be as in being influenced by others is formed by the time that you are 15. So that means that by the end of your freshman year of high school, more or less, those foundational things are already in place. So you might not be thinking that you're going to write about these things, that they're meaningful. You might be thinking that, oh, I have to be a junior or senior in high school and I got to write about what happens then. Not necessarily the case. So this is an opportunity for everybody to think about, all right, what is this really going to look like when I go through this college admissions essay process? So, the challenges, you've got to tell your story, your unique story. I promise you, you have a story to tell. You have something, many things that make you you, and you can do it. You can put together those pieces that really illustrate the person that you are, even with a limited word count, right? Most college admissions essays have a word count between 550 and 650. 550 words sounds like a lot of words until you start telling your story, and then it's not nearly enough. That's generally how it goes. So we've got to work on that. But the first thing I do want you to do is to think about where you are now, and this especially for juniors and seniors. In these 4 categories, A, B, C, and D, which one do you fall into? And have you faced significant challenges? That's the yes or no. If you have, those are obviously opportunities to write about. Do you have to write about them? No. If you are in the midst of a significant challenge, I'm going to tell you that you probably shouldn't write about it. It's got to be in the rearview mirror, because you also have to be able to reflect on that and talk about the impact that it has had in your life. If you're in the middle of something, your ability to reflect is not really there. That's fine. Don't talk about that. There are plenty of other things to talk about. If you're thinking, I don't know about significant challenges, like, I broke my pinky finger when I was 6. That doesn't seem like a big thing. You're right. It's probably not. So you just say, then no, not right at this moment. I have not. So then the question is, do you know what you want to study? Or do you not know what you want to study? And there is not a wrong answer to this. There is only the truthful answer to this. So you can say, okay, I know what I want to study. I know what I'm really interested in, and I can write about that, how I got interested in it. I have no idea what I'm interested in, but I know I need to go to college. Perfect. Then you're not going to write about that. My theory is that really you're going to write 2 core essays ever for college admissions, and then you're just going to tweak them and edit them to meet the needs of whatever the prompt is. That is generally speaking for the general admissions essay. And that is, you're either going to write about how you became the person that you are, right? That inner person, what's your fundamental core values, your beliefs, what's important to you, or how did you get interested in pursuing what you want to pursue? How did you really get, dug deep into medicine? How did you really become passionate about filmmaking? What was it? Where is that moment? And those really are the 2 basic positions of essays, basic foundational information essays that any college is going to want to read from you. So if you have the handout, I'm going to open mine over here. You'll see that on the top of the handout, it has the Fall 2021 admission essay prompts for both the Coalition for Access, Affordability, and Success and for the Common App. So basically, the Coalition and the Common App are like one-stop shopping for a whole bunch of different colleges. 450 different colleges and universities use the Common App. Many of those also use the Coalition. Most of the public colleges in Florida use the Coalition. So that's University of Florida, Florida State, University of North Florida, University of South Florida, Florida Gulf Coast, I think also use the Coalition. Others use the Common App. The other thing that if you even just give it a short glance, you will see that while some of the wording is different, honestly, these questions are the same. So don't stress out about, oh my gosh, I wrote the Common App essay, my school's on the Coalition. It's fine, because both of them also have number 5 for Coalition or number 7 here for Common App. Share an essay on a topic of your choice. There you go. So whatever you write is going to work. Whatever topic you write on is going to work. It's what that essay needs to be about that we're focused on today. So what I would like you to do, if you have your handout handy, on the top of page 5, it says essay prompt choices. Let's start with 3. And it says, at first glance, I'm really drawn to essay prompt number 1. I think I could write about this and how I learned this. And there are 3 of those. So if you have the handout, I'm going to take about 3 minutes, give you about 3 minutes to just jot some notes down for yourself. If you don't have the handout in front of you right now, no problem. Take a look at these essay prompts and, again, note for yourself, oh, I could write about number 2. Because I really, I failed miserably. I failed beautifully at something. I could write about number 6 because there's just one thing I'm super passionate about. So I am going to start my handy dandy little timer and give you now about 2.5 minutes. And let's make some notes for yourself on which of these prompts you think you would like to address. Let's finish up that last kind of note taking. Any of these prompts really wants you to be able to look back and reflect on how you came to be the person that you are, how you came to have the passions that you have. And I think students often think it's a challenging task. Colleges know that they are asking you in your great 17 years of existence to reflect back upon. I mean, they're aware, right? You may be reflecting to a time you were 5. You may be reflecting to a time last week, right? So in recent weeks, that may really be true. They know. Right? But what they want to see you be able to do is to think about what has made you you and what's important about that and how that makes you a student and a person who is going to add to their collegiate community. So just kind of keeping that in mind. How can you illustrate best who you are and why that's awesome, right? Because this is also a sales pitch. I am great. I am the student you want at your school, right? That's got to be your attitude. That's also kind of challenging for students sometimes to remember that this is a sales pitch. At the end of the day, at the end of your essay, you are going to come out stronger, smarter, and more self-aware, no matter what story you're telling, right? You can be stupid at the beginning. We all are. It happens. But at the end, stronger, smarter, more self-aware, so they know that that is the person that you are. All right, so we're thinking about these essay prompts and, all right, I could answer it with this, but how do I make this less of a textbook all about me and more of an interesting essay? So one of my favorite sources for college admissions is this guy. His name's Ethan, but he is college essay guy. And juniors and seniors, spend some time with Ethan. He has so many free resources that don't get freaked out when he's like, oh yes, buy my course. You probably don't need to do that. The videos are all on YouTube. The resources are free on his website. Now, I will say, if you are shooting high, if you are aiming high, if the Ivies are in your landscape, if that ring underneath them, which includes Stanford and Duke and Vanderbilt and Wake Forest, if those are where you're going, spend a little more time considering whether to maybe invest some money with Ethan. I still don't think it's 100% necessary, but but possibly. Or if you're going to any of the University of California schools, if you want to go to UCLA or Berkeley or Davis or San Diego, even maybe Cal Poly, like if California is right directly in your sights, he's a California guy, he's a California professor, so yes, spend some quality time there. Today we're going to do one of his exercises to get you thinking about, okay, I know how to answer these questions. How do I anchor them in a really tangible way to really reflect who I am and illustrate me as a person. And it's called the Essence Object Exercise. So it's a video on YouTube. Bear with me for a moment. We're going to see how this opens. Okay. Yes, you can. You can see my screen. Can you hear it? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the sound.
You're still on the
I'm still on the PowerPoint?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay. So I thought maybe that's how that was going to work. Here is what we'll do. Now I'll go back over. Thank you so much. Here's Ethan. There he is. All right. Now, one more trick. Can you hear him? Yeah. Could you, let me try. Was that no?
No. Not
Okay.
yet. But he's frozen.
Yeah. Okay.
Try it again. No.
Okay. No problem. All right. I'm gonna.
Do you want Alicia to try it? Sure.
I think I just have to click the button that says you guys can hear it.
Yeah.
When I hit share screen.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Share computer sound.
Yep.
All right. All right. So now we can see Ethan.
10 minutes, but I think it's really worth the time. So find somewhere quiet before you do this. I want you to imagine a box.
Okay, so hopefully you can hear him now. What I would definitely like you to do, if you have the handout, do the brainstorming on there. If you don't, get a piece of paper. He's going to ask you to make a list, and we're going to be doing this listing while he's talking, and he's going to give you some ideas, some examples, and we'll hang with him for a few minutes here.
And in this box is a set of essence objects. Okay, now what do I mean by essence objects? I mean objects, each one of which for you represents an important quality or an important relationship. So for me, an essence object would be this bracelet that I have on. It's a friendship bracelet that was given to me by my wife. And I think it's cool because my wife gives me a friendship bracelet every year on my birthday. It's like the only birthday gift that she gives me. It's not like it is the actual only birthday gift that she gives me. And what's cool about it is that it takes about a year, like 10 months for this to wear off. So every year we renew our relationship, our commitment to one another with a new friendship bracelet. And she is indeed my best friend. Another essence object would be, a handful of mala beads. So my daughter, who is now a year and a half old, but at that time was like, I don't know, 5 months old or something. I used to have these meditation beads that I would reference in my workshops as being like my grounding and source of meditation and sense of calm and everything. Well, one day, actually standing in this very kitchen, we were standing right here, my little daughter, a few months old, grabs my mala beads and like just pulls, and they just go, like all over the kitchen floor, you know. And so it represents to me like a metaphor for how I had this thing that I thought was like calm, which was like life before the baby. And then like once the baby came along, it was just like, so this handful of mala beads is not a necklace anymore. It represents like, I don't know, having to like have the pieces of my calm and like restitch them back together or something, or just like a new relationship to them. So anyway, yours don't have to be, complex. Like, I don't know, maybe that felt complex to you. It could be something like barbecue sauce, which I would put in my essence object box, because that represents my connection with my grandmother, who raised me in the South. And, I love barbecue sauce. I put it on everything. What I want you to do is basically write down what those essence objects for you are. And you don't have to explain them. I would just write down like handful of mala beads, barbecue sauce. And I want you to keep going until you can get to like 20 of these. And you might be going like, I can't do 20. You totally can, because over the next few minutes, I'm going to be giving you some more ideas of other things that you could write down. So take a few seconds right now to think about what would the objects in your essence object box be. And you don't have to pause the video. I'm just going to go ahead and ask some questions. So for example, maybe think about what's a food that reminds you of your grandmother? Or what's an object that reminds you of home, whatever home means to you? What's an object that reminds you of your connection with your father? No matter how complex that relationship may be. And if you don't have a relationship with your father, or if your father is not around, what object represents that relationship? Because it's still a relationship, or that lack of a relationship. Or if you have a father surrogate, you could use that person. What about your mom?